So how do we explain the prevailing trend towards self-destruction in civilizations of both the East and West? Is it, as Professor Velikovsky suggests, that the terrifying memory of massive global cataclysms has been wiped from the amnesic human psyche, and that those, the collective unconscious, who refuse to understand the past are condemned eternally to repeat it? Or, I ask, is there another reason? I feel that the true answer is far simpler than Professor Velikovsky suggests. Whilst his hypothesis has something, I feel the underlying answer is far more straightforward, though perhaps less attractive to the intellectual. Man's behaviour patterns, when scrutinised with true objectivity, force us to accept the unyielding conclusion that he is an irrational, primeval beast. He needs magic and miracles to dominate his existence. His unconscious mind yearns for this. Now, it would be correct to assume that in our rationalist society, the magic of current religious practice is no longer evident in daily life. Consequently, the unconscious habitually searches for a primal source of power worthy of marvelling at, whilst retaining a one-dimensional perception corresponding to the age of reason. For example, Pascal Jordan, the great German physicist, recollects the early years of atomic research thus, and remember this well: everybody was filled with such tension that it almost took their breath away. The ice had been broken. It became more and more clear in this connection we had stumbled upon a quite unexpected and deeply embedded layer of the secrets of nature. Dr. Oppenheimer, the pioneer of the atomic bomb, also remembers. Our understanding of atomic physics, of that which we call the quantum theory of atomic systems, had its origins in the turn of the century and its great synthesis and resolutions in the 1920s. It was a heroic time, a time of earnest correspondence and hurried conferences, of debate, of criticism, and brilliant mathematical improvisation. For those who participated, it was a time of creation. There was terror as well as exaltation in their new insight. Now, from these two excerpts, we can deduce that there was great excitement about the discoveries taking place. The unconscious worship of power tapped through fission had already begun. Brilliant men and women who represented the quintessence of the scientific rationale were now linking their consciousness to the fantastic, an irrational domain that deified even the minds of the very acolytes responsible for its creation. Craving. Do you understand? Craving. You understand this word? It's a disgusting word. Craving. The scientist's craving for the liberation of such immensity of energy was finally realized. He became spellbound by his part in unleashing the forces of nature. Soon the world will feast their minds and participate in the fervent adorations of horror beauty. Civilization would kneel on bended knee, outwardly horrified but inwardly fascinated, and at all times paying obeisance to the knowledge of magic's perpetual manufacture, its consequences, and most of all, its exquisite threat. From the moment of the first detonation at Alamogordo, man could no longer deny his unconscious worship of such power. There were many men and women who have experienced what we have not. And I would like to recount one man's experience. We are too flippant about the energies we have harnessed. So let us take it second hand from someone who saw. So listen well, for I'll say it only once. The whole country was lighted by a searing light with an intensity many times that of the midday sun. 30 seconds after the explosion came, first, the air blast, pressing hard against the people and things, to be followed immediately by the strong, sustained, awesome roar which warned of doomsday and made us feel that we puny things were blasphemous to dare tamper with the forces heretofore reserved to the Almighty. Words are inadequate tools for the job of acquainting those not present with the physical, mental and psychological effects. It had to be witnessed to be realised. General Farrell, 16th of July 1945, The Manhattan Project. How about this one? The Second Coming in Vengeance! Winston Churchill on the atomic bomb. The situation, and I'm speaking to you now, the situation today facing us 40 or so years after the first atomic explosion at Alamogordo only reinforces my point. The collective unconscious everywhere now eagerly anticipates the return of the old ones. Dark aspects or gods of blind terror, pre-rational and immensely powerful. Entities we have invoked back into our existence through the portals of our very actions. Our own discovery of thermonuclear energy has unsealed the gateway. These dark elements of nature have already partially resumed control of the race. Where are they? Where are they? I assure you, you will see them when you finish this lecture. Where are they? They are evident in the May Day celebrations in Moscow and Peking as their intercontinental ballistic missiles are gloriously paraded down the street. They are there.